This is the Coming Home Podcast with John Allen. And welcome, everybody, to this episode of the Coming Home Podcast with John Allen. Before we get started, I want to say, please subscribe. Subscribe at your podcast platform of choice, okay? Wherever you're listening to me right now, find the way to subscribe. Do whatever you have to do in order to subscribe. Become a longtime listener. Do that. I want to push people towards my YouTube channel. Just search up the Coming Home Podcast with John Allen, not the Coming Home Podcast, not the podcast with John Allen. Search the Comin, no G, Coming Home Podcast with John Allen on YouTube. Find me there. Subscribe. Hit that bell icon.
So how do you spell Comin?
What are you, a foreigner or something?
Yeah, double M or
Comin apostrophe. You know what that is?
Do
you know what an apostrophe is?
Well, you got to put that in too.
Do you know what an apostrophe is? Okay. As you can hear and see, wave your fat little hand. There you go. Oh my God,
I can't believe you said that.
If you have a fat little hand, wave it. You did. As you can hear and see somewhat, my lovely better half, Snoopy, is here as my guest today.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. And as usual, I'm teasing her relentlessly. Yeah, here we are. This is the end of a week that has been quite busy. The week for yours truly. And this is the whole purpose for doing this podcast. I want to just put into words things that happen. You know, my American friends have been seeing the posts that I've been putting up on my social media this past week, or these past few days since I had I don't know, what do you call it? A media blitz. But I wanted to put it into words because you guys can click in and you can see these interviews and these television appearances that I did, but you won't understand what I'm saying because I'm speaking Norwegian.
But they get to see you.
Yeah, what is there to see?
Oh,
Speaking of seeing, I can hardly see today.
Cool.
My eyes, if you look at this eye right here, I got some kind of weird infection. Okay, so if you're a first-time viewer, this is not what I look like normally. But this eye here is quite swollen and sore.
Don't pick on it.
I'm not.
You're touching it.
Mother dearest, land that helicopter, child. Oh. So this is not my normal appearance, but it is what it is. Oh, how about that person, that lady who jumped on me for putting on makeup for my television appearance? I told you about that. Mm-hmm. It was not my choice to put on all that makeup. I don't think I need it personally.
No, but you have to have makeup when you go on TV because of all the lights and the way the filming are.
Yeah, it wasn't my choice, and it's not that I protested against it either. You know, I walk in, they greet me at the door, they walk me in, and they took me straight to the makeup artist for that television sending, and she.
And every now and then
made me to look like Prince.
And every now and then you can see people who does not look very flattering on TV, and they refuse to do the makeup thing.
Did I look more like Prince or more like Denzel Washington?
I'm not going to answer that.
You know, this podcast would be so much funnier if you gave a human response to my comedy.
Wow.
But maybe
that's comedy? Is that what you call comedy? Where I'm supposed to laugh?
But maybe it's a Norwegian thing because I don't remember if I told you this. Shout out, if you're listening, shout out to Ingvild Bryn, legendary news face at NRK for the evening news on NRK here in Norway.
NRK is the Norwegian.
That's a national broadcast.
Yeah, the one that has always been. Yeah.
So shout out to her. But she was on the phone with me. I guess this would have been on Thursday. When was I on TV? See, it's all in a blur.
I think it was Wednesday.
So she was on the phone with me off and on all day, and then she was kind of talking me through how things were going to be when I show up there. And she says, "Yeah, you'll come in, and they'll greet you at the door, and then they'll take you to the makeup table." And I said, "Oh, good. Maybe I can get more of a Denzel Washington look on." And then crickets, silence. And I'm
She
like, oh my
didn't know how
gosh,
to
she didn't know how to answer. But she said, after a few seconds, she says, excuse me, what did you say? And of course, all this is in Norwegian, so I'm paraphrasing. And I said, I was just trying to crack a joke saying that if whoever puts the makeup on me can make me look more like Denzel. I like Denzel. He's a handsome guy. Maybe she can make me look more like Denzel. And then silence for another couple seconds. Yeah, okay, moving on. And she just kind of... No polite chuckle or anything. So
it's all about business. Just get it
and again,
organized.
hats off to her. She was probably busy.
Absolutely.
But see, that's my way of blowing off steam. That's my way because I have to tell you, she and everybody at both NRK and TV2, which is the other nationally broadcast news broadcast, television channel rather, here in Norway. But everybody at both places, they were extremely professional, but at the same time, very laid back. And I felt real comfortable. And I appreciate the way she used a decent, I don't want to sound arrogant, but she used a decent chunk of time on me that whole day, asking me, I almost said vague questions. Vague is the wrong word. Just asking me, questions on the topics that they wanted me to speak on while we were talking on the phone, in order to, and I'm sure it was to prep me for that appearance. They don't want some bumbling idiot to show up in front of their news camera. I sat in the chair, and apparently that's somewhat of a big deal if you're the guest on that news broadcast and you actually sit in the chair and you're speaking with the journalist. So again, hats off and thank you so much to Ingvild Bryn for helping me get prepared. But come on, Ingvild, next time, just give me a polite laugh. No.
It takes too much time. All this extra chit-chat thing. Just straight to the point, get done, move on. Same as when I'm in the store, people stand in front of me chit-chatting.
Yeah, but don't say that you're all business in the store. Why is it that I can go in the store and get out in 10 minutes and buy the same amount of things, and buy the same amount of things it takes you a half hour to get?
That's because I look at the price.
I have so many times almost called the police because I've been wondering where the heck you are when you go to the store.
Not in Norway.
And you're gone for, what do you mean not in Norway?
Well, you call the police here in Norway, you think they'll ask my wife disappeared. She was going to the store. Oh, you think they're gonna laugh? Mm-hmm.
I think they would laugh. Hey, we need a screenshot, okay?
About
when I post this. So can you take your? Excuse me. Did you hear that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's terrible.
Well,
there's my chance of getting on NPR. He burps in the mic. Just do like this. Stick your hand out, and we'll get a screenshot. Come on, do it now.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah. I thought you meant me. I was going to take a screenshot of you.
Okay, that's it. Got it.
Thought I had my phone ready to take a picture
How far into this are we? Where's the clock? There's a clock. 8:15. Can you write that down? 8:15.
I don't have a pen, but I would like to.
Why not?
Why would I? I'm talking with you. Yeah, you just remember it.
Just remember 8:15.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah. No, so anyway, so what was all this media rigmarole about? Rigmarole, as Judge Judy would say. What was this all about? Tell him, Snoop.
Well, that's because the jury, that court thing with...
that court thing. How about case?
Court case.
Yeah.
With that ex-policeman Chauvin was over, that man that killed George Floyd.
Yes, the verdict fell and guilty on all 3 counts.
Yep.
3rd-degree manslaughter, 2nd-degree manslaughter, 2nd-degree, what was it, unintentional homicide? Something, I don't remember. Guilty on all 3 counts.
Mm-hmm. I'll just eat my biscuits here, okay?
And those are not biscuits, by the way. They're cookies.
They are biscuits.
No, they're cookies.
Biscuits.
Cookies. You eat your biscuits. Your biscuits. Biscuits are them things you have that I want to squeeze and butter.
Oh, my gosh.
I can butter them biscuits. Okay, those are biscuits.
Moving on.
Those are biscuits. See, that's the same response that I got from Ingvild. I know there is an American somewhere listening to this, probably a black American somewhere who at least giggled when I said that. Mm-hmm. And I get nothing from you. Okay. people, it's rough being a stand-up comedian in Norway. I'm telling you. Anyway. So yeah, the verdict falls, and it started out that the morning after, because there's a time difference.
The day before they called you.
Actually, the day before they called me from NRK saying, if the verdict falls, or when the verdict falls, would you mind talking with us? And this was for their morning program called Nyhetsmorgen.
Yeah, it starts at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Starts at 6 in the morning, and I said, sure, absolutely, I'll do that. And
I'll stay up all night anyway, you said.
And I'll say, luckily, they planned for it to be by, I could choose between Skype or FaceTime. I chose FaceTime.
Yeah.
Because that would be rough, driving all the way through that morning traffic into Oslo that early in the morning. So the next morning then, of course, I'm on that show. On that morning show, and I'm thinking, wow, that was fun. It was great and I have to say this, it is such a privilege. I'm going to talk more about this, but it's such a privilege to be able to speak on such a major platform. I mean, this is a national broadcast platform.
That's the TV station in Norway.
So it is truly an honor. I'm blessed to be considered, to be invited on that platform.
Norsk Rikskringkasting.
Blah, 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 yeah. Say it again.
Norsk Rikskringkasting.
Yeah, that stands for Norwegian
Broadcasting.
Yeah. National broadcasting.
Right.
Yeah. So I do that, and then that was live at 7 in the morning, roughly, a little after. But it was live, went very well. I enjoyed it. I'm like, okay, that's my thing for the day. And I had already scheduled a podcast episode, which I'm not sure whether this will come out before or after that podcast episode that I recorded that day. But that podcast episode, I was scheduled to do that at 9 o'clock in the morning with a guest. And so, what was it, maybe 8 o'clock in the morning? Something like that. I got a phone call from a journalist at TV2 who said he wanted to come here to our home, to my studio, and film me and get my comments, get my thoughts.
That's when I had to hurry up and clean up.
Yeah, so Snoop, yeah. That's when I give her the puppy dog eyes. Snoopy, can you help me clean? Yeah, and she did. What a woman. What a woman. I mean, you're good for a lot of other things, Snoop, but you're very good. You're very good. Nice of you. You're very good in a clutch situation like that. So she, boy, you went at it. I think 15 minutes.
I didn't wash, but I tied it up because it's messy.
Hey, but that's all it takes. Nobody's doing the white glove test anywhere. They just,
Yeah.
So.
You should have seen the closet now.
So these, just kind of shove everything under the rug and into the closet. So they came and they filmed me here, and they were here for quite a while.
That's when I was sleeping.
The news segment was only a few minutes long, but they were here for quite some time, and that went very well. And then I got a phone call just as they were leaving. I got a phone call.
That was just as I had gotten up.
Actually, before.
Because after
no, they were still here when Ingvild Bryn. Yes, they were. Because listen to me.
I was here.
See, you don't know everything, woman. Oh. Listen. Remember that guy that told you to be quiet because the men are talking?
Goodness.
You remember that?
I almost jumped on him.
And that's a whole nother. I think we talked about that, but anyway, that's a whole other story. Yeah. But I know that it was while they were still here and just before they left, because I was walking them out the door when Ingvild Bryn called me, asking me about being on. I know that because he was standing there. He's like, "Oh my gosh, tell Ingvild I said hi." I know that.
Well, did she call back? Because she certainly called when...
She called again. I was on the phone with her several times.
Oh, okay.
Throughout the day there. Huh?
You and Ingvild Bryn.
Yeah, several times throughout the day.
You didn't catch that, did you? Whatever. Moving on.
You're jealous of Julia Chatterley.
No, I'm
Julia
not.
Chatterley
No, I'm not.
from CNN.
Oh my goodness, I'm not.
Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah. So at some point they called me
But
from
you like
NRK.
Julia Chatterley.
She's an attractive woman. She's no Snoopy.
I'm not going to say.
She's no Snoopy, but she's an attractive woman.
Say what I say to you.
No, why don't you say what you
No,
said
no.
about Tom Cruise? That you would drop me in a minute to go out on a date with Tom Cruise.
Absolutely. But
I
that was
laid
then,
out
not
the
now.
scenario in front of you after you said Tom Cruise was a handsome man and you would go out with him. And I said, well, what, if you and I were sitting at a candlelit dinner and all of a sudden you got a phone call from one of Tom Cruise's peoples and they said that Tom Cruise wanted to meet you, what would you do? And you said you would drop me in a minute, in a heartbeat, and go and see it.
Of course.
Okay, so be that as it may.
Not anymore, though. This was
You mean not
20
anymore?
years ago when he was actually
He's still
handsome.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but he's not that handsome anymore.
You don't think he's got it going on anymore?
No.
Well, you do, Snoop. You still do.
That I got
You
it
still
on.
do. Yes.
I got it, yeah, but not him.
Oh, them biscuits ain't got
Oh,
no
my
butter.
goodness. Okay, moving on. Bryn.
So
Ingvild Bryn.
Ingvild Bryn, yeah. So she called actually while these guys were still here, and I didn't get to tell her that TV2 journalist
You did not?
knew. No, because I was
Okay,
focused on what she
yeah.
was saying.
Okay.
By that time, I was starting to feel a little bit hectic because I'm starting to think, okay, how am I going to be able to fit in the recording of my podcast episode? How am I going to now prepare to, because
You had a phone call also in between there.
I had a phone call with a company. I don't want to say too much about that. I want to save that because there's going to be a podcast episode out of that. But I had a conference call with a telephone company. I had a telephone conference call with a large company. It was kind of like a pre-interview to doing a podcast episode. I'm inviting some of their executives in for a podcast episode. I usually don't do pre-interviews, but they wanted to feel comfortable about things. So that was them that wanted it done that way. I like doing my podcast episodes, off the cuff with no planning. So now my mind is starting to go into spin modus and turning upside down because I don't know how I'm going to fit all of this stuff in. And that comes back around to how kind Ingvild Bryn and the whole NRK
I thought
team.
you were going to say me.
No, listen, I already said that. I said you come through in a clutch situation, girl, you and them biscuits.
Okay.
But I said, I said that I'm saying that it was quite. It meant a lot to me that Ingvild and everybody at NRK was so helpful in that preparation process. Mm-hmm. Asking me a lot of questions about my thoughts before I sat in that chair in their news studio and the cameras started rolling. And again, I'm the kind of guy I like to take pretty much everything in the moment, and I don't like all that preparation and studying and things like that. But
Ingvild Bryn is a big thing.
Well, she's a legend.
Yeah.
I remember her from when we first moved here back in 2002. I remember hearing her on the news and thinking, wow, what a cool dialect. Because I could hear, even though I didn't know Norwegian, I could hear right away that she had a different dialect, and that fascinated me. It's still, I talk about it all the time, the different dialects in Norwegian. Speaking of which, I got my feelings hurt. Do you know what somebody said to me?
No.
Oh, you don't sound so much like a Finnmarking. I'm losing my dialect.
More like Nordtroms.
Yeah, but am I losing my dialect?
I don't know. You don't.
You hear me?
No, you don't speak Norwegian with me, really.
Yeah, but you watch the news broadcast with tears in your eyes, and as I was speaking, did I sound like I was losing my?
I didn't really listen that closely.
Aren't you going to say anything about having tears in your eyes and being emotional?
No, I'm just looking at you and thinking, I'm going to let you have that one.
Are you watching my eyes
welcome.
swell up? I can feel my eyes swelling up more and more.
Yeah.
Is it getting worse?
It's pretty big, but that's okay.
Okay, everybody. She hit me. That's she hit me.
You just had to come out and admit that, didn't you?
No, I have some sort of eye infection, probably in combination with allergies, although my allergies are doing quite well this season. I have good medication. Random eye infection. Just a random eye infection.
For the season.
And you would never hit me.
No.
You're more of a knife person. So
I'll stab you, but I won't.
She will cut him.
Oh my gosh.
No, so one thing that was very funny, you want to talk about humor. I told you this story. So I'm in there and, there's different people.
No. You missed a big part. Because
what did I miss?
Then Ingvild Bryn called just as I got up. And I thought that was the first phone call, and you kind of looked at me and you said, I don't know if I can, you wanted to do it live? So I said, I'll take you. I'll drive you in there. It's right before my night shift, but I'll do that for you.
Yeah, that's one of the calls with Ingvild. But see,
anyway.
now that right there, people, is a perfect example of how Snoop comes through in a clutch situation because, this neck surgery that I had and the shoulder issue, it's not that I'm not really prepared. I'm not ready to drive yet.
Not in Oslo anyway.
No. As you can see, I'm kind of stiff, so I can't turn, I need to be able to turn my head and all that.
In case the ghost train
in order
comes.
to drive safely. And the ghost train. We'll talk about that. So here's Snoop, and she had things to do that night, but she drove me all the way into Oslo and waited patiently and prettily as I did my thing on the news. So, hey, our anniversary's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It's our anniversary.
Oh, yeah. Will you remind me when? No.
You forgot last year. Tell the people that you forgot. Admit it.
Did I forget last year?
Yes,
I usually forget. I thought it was last year. I did remember it.
You and them biscuits. You forgot last year. No, so
I put a reminder.
Clutch.
On my phone
She's a
this
clutch. She's one of them. I almost said she's one of them clutch bitches.
Oh my gosh!
I'm sorry. I was watching 90s rap this morning on YouTube.
Yeah.
You saw that was some good music though, wasn't it? That's when rap was.
I don't listen to rap.
I don't either. But wasn't that what I was playing this morning? Wasn't that good stuff?
If you say so.
Oh, come on! You didn't hear a single tune this morning that got you.
Nope.
She's Norwegian, you guys. This is the woman who has a child threw probably a $1 billion worth of royalties out into the ocean. Those little 45 records that she threw out into the ocean like frisbees.
Well, my dad
That's her
said
appreciation
it was okay.
of music.
My dad said it was okay, and it sure was fun. Oh my gosh!
There's a coral reef. There's a coral reef made out of records right outside our place up in Finnmark because
they jumped on the water. What do you call that? Kasta fiskesbrett. When they skip, yeah.
I'm sure that was fun.
Oh yeah. We broke them, broke them into pieces a little bit.
But I was going to tell a story about how cool they were at NRK. So I'm in there, and this person, I don't know, they were some sort of production assistant. I don't know what their job was, but she comes in and she says, and I'm paraphrasing because all of this went in Norwegian. Let's see how many times I can brag about being able to speak Norwegian in this episode here. So I'm paraphrasing because we spoke Norwegian the whole time, of course. But she says, how'd that go? She says, she said hi and kind of asked me, what do you? I say, yeah, I'm going in. I'm going to talk in a few minutes about everything that's been happening in the States, with the verdict that fell. And she says, you're going to sit in the chair. I say, yeah, I'm gonna sit in the chair, yeah.
In the chair.
And she says, see, now I'm in the process of paraphrasing. I kind of lost track about exactly what was said. And she said something like, that's
something big or something.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Yeah, that's a big deal to get to sit in the chair. And I said, is it? And she says, yeah. She says, you're probably real nervous, huh? And I wasn't nervous at that point. I was more excited. But then I'm starting to think, oh my gosh, I'm sitting in it. I'm going to sit in the chair, and I started getting a little bit of antsy.
Yeah, but there was something else she
said.
said.
I know. See, I'm missing something with what she said.
It will come back to you. I'm sorry. Yes, I talk too much. No. Yeah.
If you.
No, I don't talk too much, but whatever. Yeah, I threw you off.
This and more of. You did throw me off. Yeah. No, you didn't throw me off. It's just, I'm tired. I'm a little worn out.
Really?
Yeah, I am. Silence. The sounds of silence. No, I'm a little.
Now that's good music.
What, the Simon and Garfunkel? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can respect it. Some beautiful songs, mostly by Paul Simon. He did most of the writing. Talented guy, but I don't know. I've never gone out and bought an album by them. I don't like them that much to where I would actually go out and buy their stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't afford buying it, so I had somebody record it.
I can't believe I forgot that story because it was funny what this lady did.
Yeah, it was. I laughed hard when you told me that story. She messed with you.
She really messed with me.
Yeah.
It went along the lines of her really hyping it up that you get to sit in the chair, that it's a big deal. And then she said, and then she saw I was getting nervous, so then she laughed. She says, "Oh, I'm just kidding. It's not that big a deal." And she started walking away.
But
she came back and she says, "But it is." Yeah. And then she walked out. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what am I supposed to make of that?" But what I'm saying is that she
made you relax.
Made me relax even more. I mean, I was already relaxed. To be quite honest, I wasn't nervous. Yeah. But she made me very relaxed by making me laugh like that. Because I was kind of in my own head thinking about, okay, what are you going to say? Make sure you pronounce things properly. Don't sound like an idiot. This is a big deal, And then by her coming in like that, just a couple minutes before I was supposed to go live, it really helped me to relax. Mm-hmm. So then I go in there and I sit down, and there's about, I don't know, a minute maybe after I sat down before we started. And I'm sitting there looking at Rima Iraki, is her name? Mm-hmm. What a wonderful woman. I don't know how to put it other than to say that sometimes there's people that I meet and I can feel some kind of goodness that they radiate. Kind people, this good thing, this warmth, and I felt that coming from her immediately, and that's when I knew, oh, okay, this is going to be all right, and it was all right. I felt extremely comfortable. Yeah, I really did. I'm just sitting here visualizing that whole experience. I mean, it's kind of, for me, it's quite the surrealistic experience, because and we've talked about this. Where are the black and brown men in the news here in Norway? Where are they? You have that one, forgive me, I cannot remember his name, but he leads that one debate program, that Asian guy on NRK. What's his name? Yeah. He's a major face out there.
Yeah, but you have a guy from India too that he comments on.
But my point is there are not very many of us out there. Where are we? So when I get at home collecting
welfare. Oh my gosh!
Oh, shame on you. No, come on, we can joke a little bit, but no, quite seriously, where are we? We're not visual in the news sending. There's very, very few of us. I don't believe it is a proper representation of society here in Norway. I really don't believe it is. So when I get invited onto a nationally broadcast platform like that, It puts me in the time leading up to it and for quite some time afterwards, because this isn't the first time I've been on these shows, but for quite some time afterwards, it always puts me in a very reflective mode, where I start thinking on that issue about representation. I start thinking on that issue about about being on those platforms and showing people something other than a black or brown person committing a crime or a black or brown person singing, dancing, and entertaining. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't really listen now.
You're just a terrible guest. You're fired.
You told me
You're fired.
I'm trying to find his name. Solvang.
Is that his name? Yeah.
I think, but see, I'm in on NRK. But it doesn't say his name. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah,
That's
because I had forgotten
strange.
yeah. But you can put that down, Snoop, because you're not paying attention. It doesn't matter. We got his name,
okay,
Solvang. Yeah. But the point is that whenever I get on these types of programs, it puts me in a reflective mode for quite some time afterwards. So please put that down. You're not paying attention. This is a 2-person episode, okay?
I just wanted to find it. Okay.
And it puts me in this period of reflection about representation on these nationally broadcast platforms.
Okay.
I became a spokesperson for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I know that? How do I know that I'm not just another guy speaking about an issue? It's because of the feedback I got. Right? But I got those messages. Nobody would tell you, oh, it's great to see a blonde-haired, hazel-eyed Norwegian speaking. Strawberry blonde-haired, hazel-eyed Norwegian speaking on this nationally broadcast platform. Nobody would tell you that. But they tell me, oh, it's so nice to see an immigrant
I can talk Norwegian.
Speaking clearly on an important subject. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate that feedback, but that I get that type of feedback tells me that most people are not used to seeing someone like me on that platform. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe I just thought of this. You know how you get mad because people ask you, do you speak Norwegian? And
no, but tell the story. That's not. I don't just get mad because they ask me if I can speak Norwegian.
But
it's a circumstances.
Yes, because after I've
spoken
several sentences,
read half a chapter of the Odyssey to them, and then they speak. Then they ask me if I speak Norwegian.
Maybe I'm not saying that's the only reason. But maybe part of it. Maybe they wouldn't have asked that if they would have seen more. Non-ethnic people on
non-ethnic
the TV.
Norwegians. Yeah.
Norwegian, yeah.
Immigrants.
Speak clearly Norwegian.
Speak clearly Norwegian, and you speak clearly English. Yeah.
I never said that.
You speak English clearly.
Yeah.
Speak Norwegian. Anyway.
Gosh. Well,
Yoda over here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on now. Hold on. What country do we live in?
Yeah, we live in Norway.
Okay, so I don't need to be fluent in English.
But from what country does the head of this household come from? Hello?
Norway.
Speak it, girl.
Norway. You jumped right into that.
I can't win. I can't win. Stop clapping your flippers like that. You're going to make the microphone, the gain on the microphone. No, but it will spike, and it's a little harsh on the ears. You're just not going to resist me calling your stubby arms flippers, are you?
No, because I got you there, though.
You did. Good job. Good job. I told you I'm tired, though, so you jump while I'm down, okay?
Yeah. Anyway, what else is new?
You're glowing today, Snoop.
Oh, yeah.
You are. You're a little droopy. You're tired, but you're
that
glowing.
must be from being
You were up all day swinging a hammer. Doing construction work all day. You worked all night, and then you were swinging the hammer all day.
Mm-hmm. Well, what time was I done yesterday?
They build them tough here in Norway, people.
What I ate at 8:30 at night. That's when I was done. 9.
Yeah,
something like that.
We went to bed relatively early.
I don't even remember, but it was.
It was pretty early, like 9:30.
I pretty much worked from 7:30.
You worked more than 24 hours. You worked more than 24 hours.
Yeah.
You worked about 27, 28 hours straight.
But it was fun.
Well done.
It was fun.
You like that kind of work, don't you?
I love it. And being with somebody who knows what they're doing. And you know what he told me, the carpenter?
What did he tell you?
He said, there's 2 kind of people that you work with. It's the people that knows what they're doing, and the people you have to drag around. And he said he gave a he said he has had a handler or håndlanger. Is that handler or whatever? Somebody helper, like a helper.
Hamburger helper.
No, a helper with him before, and then and there's one other person, he said, that has actually known what he needs before he knows it himself almost. You know, handling the tools and holding and doing all these things. And he said, but you know how to do it. I can tell you know how to work.
Well, you've been on those construction sites with your father since you were 5 years old.
And if I didn't know what he was thinking, I got yelled at. So
your dad was something else. He would... I can remember the first day when we built that shed behind the house there, and I was fresh in Norway, didn't understand anything except yes, no, and maybe, and please pass me that plate of chicken. That's all I knew. And I'm out there working with him, just he and I, and he's just babbling away, and I could tell he was saying, get me the whatever, because he would kind of point and gesture, and I'm like, I don't know what he's telling me to get. And he would just kind of roll his eyes like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you?
And then he said,
and I'm thinking, what's wrong with you? Thinking I know what you're saying. Gosh, I miss him. My father-in-law, people, Snoopy's father, is the man who was the kindest to me ever.
Oh gosh, he adored you.
I could tell he adored me, and the way that made me feel, I can't put words on it. Can't put words on it. And that's adored. Yeah, and that's a good word. And people always try to over masculinize, if that's a word, this thing about relationships between men. But what I felt from your father was real love. And adoration. And I could feel that.
He did. Remember the first time when I introduced you to him?
Yes.
And we had been out walking, and it was cold. It was May, but it was cold. And you were coming, and we came back in.
Yeah, that's right. It was barely above freezing in May. Yeah.
And he gave you his slippers and put your feet up. He lifted your feet
my feet up and put them on the heater, the electric floor heater there. Yeah.
And gave you a blanket and made sure you would...
Yeah.
Fine, and he didn't know what he could do to make you mostly comfortable.
That was nice. But he wouldn't hug me. Remember that?
Oh, no way. No hugs from men. That's that's taking
I'm a hugger,
way too far.
And he wasn't. That's okay though. You have to respect his place.
Here, give me a hug.
I'll try and do that. Just like this, and then he just kind of took the hand. Or stiffened his arm to hold me away. I felt like I was in a joust with him, like the knights of old.
And he was strong.
He's a little guy. That's where you get your stubbiness from. Little guy, but his hands were like it looked like a catcher's mitt. His hands were so doggone thick, and one finger was the size of two of mine. Yeah.
And you're not even exaggerating.
I'm telling the truth. And just like you, well, no, I don't know. Your hands are.
Well, they're short.
Your hands are more like your grandmother's, where I've seen pictures of your grandmother, his mother.
Yeah.
And it looks like the last knuckle on every finger and thumb has been cut off. Yeah, it's like you're missing a knuckle.
If I would have had the same trade that my dad had, working with construction, since I was 15, my hands would have been a lot thicker, of course.
But you're muscular like him from the elbows down. You've got some of and I've seen a lot of female bodybuilders and all that stuff, but you've got some of the most powerful looking forearms I've ever seen.
Yeah, but now
they're
kind of puny.
No, still.
Well, yeah,
Snoop,
but
I was
puny.
looking. Can I admit something? Can I admit something? Just about 3-4 days ago, I was trying to sneak a picture of your you were sitting with your arms folded across your chest, or your stomach rather, and I was trying to sneak a picture. I didn't get it though, because your forearms were just popping. Anyway. That was
my the talk about my dad thing.
No, I miss that guy, and I think every day something, some memory of him, something makes me think of him every single day.
And it was so cool. It was so cool because I have his jacket that he was wearing when he was in construction. So I'm wearing that.
Tell that story. Yeah.
When I'm out working. I always wear that. and it gives me a good feeling.
It's got the logo of his old
company.
Company, yeah.
Not his company, but
where he worked,
yeah. And then we had this roof guy, this Blickenslager, that works with metal.
Farfignugen.
Blickenslager? I don't know what you call that in English. That works with metal and put the roof on people's houses and
stuff. I want you to use a Norwegian word for that.
Blickenslager.
There you go. Shout it out, girl.
Yeah.
Preach.
Shh, be quiet.
Amen.
Women are talking here now. Be quiet. Anyway, so I was wearing that. I called him. Hey, can you come and look at this and see what the price and if you can do this, that, and the other. So he comes and I'm wearing my jacket and he said, "Oh, I used to work for that company. That's a long time ago." I said, "Yeah, really? Yeah." I said, "Well, this is not really mine, even though I did work for them, in the summers. It used to be my dad's." "Oh, what's his name?"
Don't say it.
So I said his name. I said, "Oh, really?" And he said his name. Why can't I say his name?
Don't do that.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
I'm trying to... Look, there's a reason why you're not showing your face and all that stuff. You're trying to remain somewhat anonymous, so I'm just helping you. You're welcome.
Anyway.
Hold on.
Well, that's my dad.
You're welcome.
That's my dad. Nobody knows my dad other than
You're welcome.
Those people.
Can I get just an ounce of appreciation?
I'm talking.
Just say thank you.
So the point is that he knew my dad.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool.
That was
After all those years, and he had a clear memory of who he was.
Oh, yeah. I used to work with him, he said, and he took me around, and he helped me. He was teaching me this, that, and the other. He knew what he was doing.
Didn't he say like he's a little different?
A little different. But he sure knew what he was doing.
Isn't that cool? Doesn't that make you feel good that people remember him like that?
And that was so good. And and after that, of course, he was super nice to me. What a nice guy.
How's he doing? Because that guy was...
he caught coronavirus.
He got COVID bad.
Oh, poor thing.
We're talking like less than a week ago. This the story you're telling us from about a week ago.
No, they went on Easter vacation to cabin with family, grandkids and stuff.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. When was Easter?
No, I'm saying when you found out he was sick.
When I found out.
About a week ago.
Yeah, he sent me, he was supposed to come and do some work, and he sent me a message that he couldn't come. He was in quarantine, waiting to see about somebody else's test. And then I didn't hear anything. Oh my gosh. So it turns out he got COVID. His grandchild got COVID, and he said it was the hard thing was to listen to his little grandchild, 3, 4, 5 years old, struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
And people say that it doesn't hit kids. That's a bunch of baloney.
Well, I wish people would just stop. I mean, apparently people are still falling into the myths, into the conspiracy theories. How long is it going to take before people see the reality of it?
Know.
But having said all that, it is quite refreshing to see the success of the vaccine in the States, and it looks like it's going to get even better here. They're a little slow with getting the vaccine distributed here in Norway.
Yeah, because we are dependent on the EU.
We just spoke to some friends outside down the road here yesterday who mentioned that they have gotten on the list now. So it looks like it's starting to open up and more people are in line.
Well, you haven't gotten on that list. You're older than them. You should have gotten it. Maybe they don't. It's not for brown people.
Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, racism in the vaccinating process in Norway, live on NRK.
Oh, my gosh.
Our guest speaker will be John Allen. No, I don't know what it is, but I would hope that, you've gotten yours already through your job, but I would hope that I get mine soon. I want it. I will feel so much better. Although I'll say this, I'm not having any problems keeping myself isolated. It will be a relief to know that I am vaccinated when that time comes.
Right.
So we'll see.
I mean, you can still get COVID, but it won't hit you as hard.
Exactly. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And you can't cross your fingers. They don't work that way because they're so, missing knuckle and all. But let's cross our fingers if we can and hope that and hope that my goodness, and hope that the vaccine gets out to enough people to where
it lowers. I think we're going to be living with this COVID virus for years and years, maybe a generation or two.
I'll tell you this: I would have no problem, vaccinated or not. I would have no problem always wearing a mask when I'm out in public. I do not have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. I don't.
Well, it gets kind of sweaty and uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's true. It's not summertime at the moment, so let's see what happens when summertime. Although,
and it doesn't even get that warm in Norway.
I was just going to say, it doesn't even get. Summertime is. But isn't that interesting? For me, if it's 60 degrees or higher, I'm sweating. Yeah, that's how I've acclimatized to the Norwegian weather. 60 degrees, you guys, is too much for me.
Men can get menopause.
If men can get menopause, I do not have it. Okay.
I'm not so sure.
What do you mean you're not so sure?
You said that you sweat for nothing.
I've always been a sweat box. Although, excuse me, although now, see, you make me sick talking that foolishness. No, although now if I get sweaty these days, it's probably because I'm so doggone out of shape. I was actually thinking about that. Now, I had that last major shoulder surgery in May. You almost said it too. Not last year, 2 years ago.
That's right. Oh, my gosh.
And over the last 2 years, because of that surgery, and then after that, quite recently, this neck surgery, which was what?
Yeah, but
about 8 weeks ago?
Your neck has been probably messed up.
But the point is my conditioning, my strength, my general health has just been going, not a drastic drop, but it's just been slowly.
And then you drag me into that stuff.
What do you mean?
Sitting on the couch eating bonbons.
Eating who?
Bonbons.
Oh, yeah? Is that what we eat?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Snoopy. Wave your hand over there in the camera so they know you're still here. There you go. There's a...
With my
minus a knuckle.
With my
stubby.
My watch that is supposed to count my steps, but
it didn't charge properly, did it, last night?
No, but and who cares about the steps, really? I don't know. Yeah. Well,
no, I don't know, Snoop. Thank you for helping me get through that busy day. You were a good. You stepped out of wife. The category of being a wife, and you stepped into personal assistant. I mean, you. Really
I'm always your personal assistant. What is that? What are you talking about?
But isn't that? I think it's cool that you do. I appreciate that.
I always done that.
You make things like that possible.
I always done that. Why wouldn't I?
Well, some people just wouldn't.
Yeah, well, that's not love.
That's not
L-O-V-E.
L-O-V-E. Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's that's I think that's part of if you have a good relationship.
You said it yourself. That's love. That's what love is. You just do those things.
You do things that you can for the others to a certain extent. No, but yeah.
Yeah, no, you do what you can for the other. Yeah,
you do.
Hey, would you take one of those things on your plate and hold it up so the camera can see it? Just take one.
Biscuit,
hold it up.
The biscuit.
Hold it up. Hold it up and don't let it down. Okay, people, do you guys see that? Extend your arm a little bit so it gets in the shot. Do you guys see that? Now, I want you guys to write in. Is that a cookie or is that a biscuit? Okay?
That's a biscuit.
Is that a cookie or a biscuit?
That's a biscuit.
Okay, well. Biscuit. What happened to your forearm there, the Band-Aid?
Well, I burned myself on a coffee pot. What was it, last week?
Really?
Yeah, and it didn't really hurt, so I didn't put cold water on it, and then just kept burned in there.
Those burns will sneak up on you, though.
Yeah,
you don't feel it, but then you wake up the next day and there's a big bubble.
It was a blister, and of course, I can't stop picking at stuff, so it popped and all that stuff. So now it won't really heal, but it'll be all right. Yeah.
You know. So what do I do to keep this momentum going? I'm extremely motivated to be of some influence in some important issue. I got tired, but I got motivated from this news coverage and my participation in it.
Let's say it like this.
Consigliere of mine, what can I do to continue riding this wave and continue so that it turns into something even more productive, even more influential, and even more positive? What can I do?
Okay, well, I bet you there are some listeners out there who...
Couple.
Yeah, that... yeah, if you know somebody or know somebody who knows somebody, tell them about John, what he can do, that he can be on TV, and he loves it.
I love public speaking like that. I do.
Give him a holler and give him a job. Simple. Right?
It really is that simple.
Yeah.
I'm here, people. But I love doing that.
Yeah.
Somebody told me, because I said, I made some comment on social media that I never go back and watch my participation on these programs. I never go back and listen if I've been on some radio program. I don't even listen to my own podcast episodes. I'll listen to pieces when I'm trying to pull out a clip, to promote a specific episode, but I don't listen to myself and I don't watch myself. And then somebody wrote, well, there's this, that, and the other you can do to coach yourself to get better so you're less nervous. And I'm thinking, that's not what it is.
That was me?
No, well, I think you've said something, you've said things similar to that, but this was somebody on a discussion on social media.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for the wonderful feedback. Hundreds and hundreds, and if not thousands, have commented and shown support on the things that I've posted on the different social media platforms. So thank you guys very much. I mean, I appreciate that. But this conversation was someone telling me I can do things so that I'm less nervous, but that's not the issue. I really don't get nervous. I enjoy it. I love public speaking. Yeah. It's just that I think it's weird. I don't know. I think a lot of people would agree. It's weird when you hear your own voice.
It is.
It's weird. To me, it's weird to see myself. Yeah.
I guess I'm more thinking like, if you're talking about something and you want to see, okay, well, I could have said maybe like this, not thinking about the appearance thing in itself. I don't know.
Well, the thing is I want to get better and I want to get more refined and more professional, whether it's on my podcast or whether I'm on a radio program or when I'm on TV. I want to get better at it.
I think it is a good
and you say,
suggestion.
And you're probably right. It would be a good suggestion. Maybe I sit different, or maybe I have some personal tics. Maybe I pick my nose every time I need to change thoughts. I don't know. It could be anything. But to me, it's just weird to look at myself. We recorded this stuff, and you were going to watch the broadcast from TV2 last night, wasn't it? And what did I do? I had to get up off the couch. I couldn't watch it. I just...
No, not last night. The day before.
Day before, I'm sorry. Can't do it. It's just weird to watch myself. Yeah. How do actors do that? Go and see their own movies, see their own performances on film.
Oh, I think that would be cool.
I guess something like that would be cool, but to watch myself just sit and having a conversation or re-listen to a conversation, I want the effects of that conversation to sit with me naturally and fade naturally, or stick with me, either or. Yeah. So to go back and rewatch or re-listen things that I've said and done is just a little
over and done with, huh?
That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
I guess. Okay. Well, should we wrap it up?
No, but I guess that's a sign. I guess that's a sign to to wrap it up. When my guest keeps rolling their eyes and crossing their legs, you got to pee or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Snoopy has to pee, you guys. Otherwise, this would be a hour and a half long episode that you people can enjoy. But I'll cut it short.
All this coffee.
I will cut it short because Snoopy has to go pee. Okay, listen. To wind this up, I want to repeat. Please subscribe on your podcast platform of choice. Wherever you're listening to me, please subscribe there. Share it. Comment on YouTube. It's very easy to share and comment YouTube. Please go there to YouTube or whatever platform, but especially YouTube. Subscribe. Hit the bell icon. Be with me. Be notified every time I release an episode. And let's keep this journey going. I love you guys. Again, thank you to TV2. Thank you to NRK. Special thanks to Ingvild Bryn and Rima Iraki from NRK NRK1. I'm speaking Norwegian here. NRK1 television broadcasting network. Thank you all so very much. I love you guys. I never say I love you, Snoop. You jealous? I show you I love you.
I thought I was not going to mention anything, but I thought you said to me that you love me. Then how come you love everybody else?
Because I show you.
So let's just end with that.
I show you.
Let's just end with that.
I don't need to say it because I show it constantly. I tease because I love.
I hear you.
All them biscuits. Okay, people.
All right, well, anyway.
I'm going to get to them biscuits. Thank you, and be well. Bye, everybody.